Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be making my official predictions on the outcome of the AFC South. This is one of the divisions that really kind of gets forgotten about because, well, none of the teams are super popular.
They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
When you think of a popular team, you think of Eagles, Cowboys, Steelers. You don't get to Jaguars until you're at the very bottom of the list. But nonetheless, I will be starting off this series of ranking my divisions with the AFC South. Starting off with the bottom of the division, I have the Tennessee Titans. They did some of the least exciting moves in the offseason possible. The biggest move they did was a big gamble on Calvin Ridley. So, a little ironic, but nonetheless, that was their big move, and no one thought he was worth what they're paying him. They also signed Tyler Boyd, okay, and they signed Tony Pollard, okay, but they didn't really do anything other than the players they signed. The other noteworthy thing is that they fired their head coach that almost everybody considered to be a top 10 head coach. I know last season wasn't great, but they had Ryan Tannehill and Will Levis as their quarterback options. So, I'm sorry, I'm not going to blame you for not winning the Super Bowl. But anyways, ownership decided it was time to move on. I disagree, but who knows? We'll see. So, in my official predictions, I actually have them going 2-15. So, I'm very sorry, Titans fans, if you are listening. I don't think it's going to be a great year for you. I have them starting off with a lot of losses.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Their first win is in week 10, and their second win is in week 11, and then I don't have them winning again. Looking at their schedule, I guess there's a few I could flip over to them, but quite simply, unless Will Levis really surprises me, I think this is going to be one of the bottom tier teams in the NFL. Then in third place, the bronze medal of the division, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. So yes, this is a team some people are high on, some people are really low on, but watching them last year, they started off kind of hot and then they melted. They absolutely fell apart at the end of the year.
Are you in loser denial or something?
It was essentially the Eagles 2.0. Well, happened at the same time, but they were a worse version of the Eagles last year. Similarly, they had a big lead in the division, all of that, and then they crumpled. It does kind of seem like one thing with Doug Peterson-led teams is he picks them up, he raises them up, and then they slowly get worse throughout the years that he's there. It happened with the Eagles, and it seems like it's happening with the Jaguars as well. In addition, their free agency moves were not good. Well, at least they were boring. That's the least I can say for them.
Most of these guys never had a prime.
This guy here is dead.
They have Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis, the former Bills wide receiver, as their go-to wide receivers, and they have Travis Etienne as a running back. They also have Brian Thomas Jr. as a wide receiver as well. Forgot to mention him. But this will all matter on if Trevor Lawrence gets better or not. Is he going to bring them to the promised land like we saw happening maybe 10 years ago when I first heard of Trevor Lawrence? Or will he just be a rather average NFL quarterback that I think he has been so far?
Let's see your everything is okay face.
And I can't move on from the Jaguars before mentioning, of course, their new all-star backup quarterback, Mac Jones, who has quite the NFL body. But I have the Jaguars going 6-11 this year. I have them starting off the year pretty rough, starting the year 1-5, and then sort of recovering, going 5-5 the rest of the year. But with games against teams like the Dolphins, the Browns, the Bills, the Texans, and I even have the Colts as a good team, I just don't see how they're going to get any wins to start the year off. Those are 5 solid teams the first 5 weeks of the season, and we'll learn a lot about the team but I think we're going to learn that they're not very good. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more amazing NFL content, but back to the video. My second place team in the AFC South may shock you, so please hold on to something sturdy, maybe take cover.
But before I tell you, you have to promise me that you are not going to collapse or turn blue or anything like that.
And that is because I have everybody's darling, the Houston Texans, not in first, but in second in this division. That's right, CJ Stroud, while he is the new wonder child, he's not good enough to win the division in my book. And yes, I know, might be crazy, but this is the NFL, and crazy stuff happens in the NFL. I do think they'll be a good team. I do think they're going to make the playoffs. I realize they made some good moves in the offseason. Joe Mixon is an upgrade in running back. Stephon Diggs, of course, helps the offense even though he's not as good as he used to be. He is a little bit of an old man. Their defense seems like it will be good. Their head coach, of course, is an excellent defensive coach. I think they're going to be a good team. I just think the Colts are going to be the surprising team in the NFL. I have the Houston Texans going 11-6, including a 5-1 division record. However, that's just not going to be enough in this league. I think once again the Texans will be really good against bad teams, going 7-0 against my predicted losing teams. However, just 3-5 against playoff teams, including losses against some powerhouses such as the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Packers, who are all projected to be very good teams. So, I know, I feel like I might be insulting everyone in this video by now, but I'm not saying they're bad. I like the Texans. I like them in fantasy. I think they're exciting. All of that. But I don't have them winning the division. Sorry. And that leaves, drumroll please, the Indianapolis Colts winning the division, shocking the world.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
You know, when it happens, I called it. But I really believe in this head coach. He was great with the Eagles, and last year was one of the most impressive coaching seasons that I had seen. They got 9 wins with a backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew, for almost the entire year. They didn't have Jonathan Taylor to start the year. They had injuries all over the place for the year. But they fought and clawed and got 9 wins and almost made the playoffs. So I think with a healthy Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, all of that, while they didn't do any flashy moves, I just believe in this head coach. I think Shane Steichen is, quite simply, probably a top 5-ish head coach in the NFL. Just remembering back to when he was with the Eagles and the good old days, our offense was awesome, and the Colts will do the same. I have them barely beating the Texans out, going 12-5, just one game better, and that is mainly because their schedule is easier since they were a third-place team last year. I don't think they'll actually go that far in the postseason. I think they'll be a regular season team for the most part. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. If you used to ask me who's going to win the Super Bowl, I would say the Texans have a better chance. But for the regular season, looking at both of the teams' schedules, I like the Colts here. And I think this will probably be one of my hottest takes as I go throughout all of the divisions. Especially since the Colts are only projected to get 8.5 wins. So, me personally, hammering the over. So 12-5, 4-2 in the division, and honestly, just doesn't surprise me. Their biggest upset I have them winning is over the Lions. So that might be a little too risky, but bold takes are meant for the off season. What else would I be doing? So please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about my picks, why you agree with them, and how much you love the channel, and I will see you later.